welcome everyone to the Finest Women in Real Estate. I am your host, Marie Antoinette Waite, and today we are going to share with you a topic about excellence in real estate. I have three amazing real estate professionals, and I'm so excited that we have them here today. First of all, I want to introduce you to Pauline Wolke, who is the owner of United One Realty. Hi, Pauline, how are you?
I'm good, Marie. Thank you for letting me be here today.
Good, good. And we have Lolly Hunks, who is with uh, American Choice Mortgage, and she is the mortgage broker in that company. Lolly, welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yes, and of course, Adriana Reynolds, who is with American Furniture Rental. Welcome again.
Thank you for having me again.
Yes, I am thankful that you guys are all here, and I'm excited to talk about excellence in real estate. As we all know, that all real estate professionals are aiming to be very good at what they do, and I believe excellence is the closest to perfection. So, what is excellence in real estate for you, Pauline?
Well, the first one right out. Well, I think excellence means a lot of things. Obviously, it's servicing your clients to the absolute best to your ability and helping them reach their goals of what they want to do. And I think excellence doesn't go without honesty and ethics. So I think that's a big part of being excellent in this industry.
Awesome. And Lale, what about you?
Yeah, well, my approach is really teaching because most people don't know enough about the mortgage finance side of things, what good debt is, bad debt is, good credit. So we from a really basic approach, and we try to, break bad habits that are created on false information. So that's really what I do, so that they leave empowered and making good decisions for their family, because it's not one size fits all in mortgage.
Yes, thank you. And Adriana, same question.
Excellence for me means making sure that we're meeting the client's vision, similar to what Pauline said, what their goals are. And with my company specifically is making sure that their home looks beautiful, ready to sell.
Awesome. Now, for me, excellence, we cover four things. One is client service. Second is the what I call the follow-up process. Third is the commitment, and fourth is the delivery. Now, let's talk about client service. What is something that you apply when you are taking care of your clients, Pauline?
Well, as far as client service goes, I apply myself 100%. I'm in the transaction from the start to the end. I do have an assistant that does help, so that way we're always on track with the paperwork and that tedious stuff. But I'm always in the process of it. So I think that's important, not to be handoff to somebody else during the process of the transaction of a real estate. So that's.
So does that include the way you also provide resources to your client, like, for example, Lolly and Adriana?
Yeah, I mean, I would have to say being able to provide, if the home's vacant, I would see, the furniture staging would be incredibly valuable to the agent on doing that. And pretty much once it gets into escrow, you definitely want to have a really good lender backing you up through the process, because they're pretty much, in control of the car at this point on making sure that their pre-qualification was done correctly from the beginning. So that way you have no worries, throughout the whole escrow, because people are, they want to put their notice to, let's say they have a rental and they want to put their notice in. Well, that's really important to make sure that your mortgage is going to be secure once you move.
Okay. And Lala, in regards to your service and working with the real estate professional like Pauline, what does it take for you to make sure that the quality is pretty good for her clients?
Well, I think the most important thing for the client and the buyer is to be ready before they start even using Pauline's time. And today in this marketplace, it's very aggressive, and it's not the perfect borrower with 20% down. It's the perfect file that can perform, because sometimes, the guy that has all the money, he has a big ego, and he doesn't think he needs to get his paperwork ready until, he's busy. So until he has a property, he doesn't want to lift a finger. But then you have, just really hungry first time buyer, and they've gotten me every single piece of paper. And when I'm in escrow, I'm getting fees, I'm ordering the appraisal, and they have to sign their loan contingency and their appraisal contingency off sometimes in 2 weeks. And most escrows are 30 days. So when I go to docs and we close 2 weeks early on most of our transactions, because why would I want to tell my client to sign off their earnest money deposit and be vulnerable for 2 weeks? So I think, that's a challenge in the marketplace, and that's how I protect both my client and my agent. And the sooner we close a transaction, the time is money for everybody. So we just, we get in and we get out on purchases.
Okay, so I hear a lot of good things from what you said in terms of prepping the client to save time for Pauline. Adriana, in your case, you have to do a lot of staging and prepping and selling, somebody's home. Now, how does that work with your relationship with an agent who's trying to make sure that, they're getting the right service from you?
Absolutely. So my relationship with the agent is extremely proactive. So before she gets the listing, she's contacting me saying, hey, I'm going to put this house on the market, and we really want to take fantastic photos to make sure that we're ready for whoever wants to buy it. And what's great about staging your home is that normally if you stage a home and it's empty, it takes almost 143 days. It stays on the market for 143 days, but staged, it can only be on the market for 20 days or less. So I have that proactive relationship with the agent where she knows that she's getting the listing. She calls me to stage the home, and we like to do fast turnover because it means more business for the agent and a happier client. The faster they can get in the home, the better.
Okay. And Pauline, what do you think about what they just shared with you?
Oh, absolutely. As far as the mortgage side, everything needs to be done before you start looking at homes. I mean, first you need to know not only what you qualify for, but I always tell my clients what's important is what they feel comfortable with their mortgage payment. So they may qualify for a lot more, but let's say, you really want to be comfortable with the payment process and making sure that, they're good to go. And that's only going to benefit them because this is a very competitive market right now. We have multiple offers. And if you already have, approval and you're able to even close in 2 weeks, you're one step ahead of everybody else. So, and as far as staging, it takes away the guessing game when you go into a vacant house. A lot of people sometimes don't have a vision of how to place furniture or how it's going to look. Unfortunately, homes do look smaller when there's no furniture in there and you can't see how your sectional is going to go. So that adds value, and you also get a higher price for your home.
Okay. Now, I also think that providing good service to your client also requires time management. Now, how does that work for you, Pauline, when it comes to time management?
Time management for myself? Yes. Well, I try to see, if I have a client that, and again, we're talking about this current market, which is very competitive. So anytime that something hits the market that they like or that they want to see, it's gone within a few days. So if they're not, let's say if they're out of town, or if they're not able to see it, I'm running out to the property, taking additional photos. And when I say additional photos, there's a beautiful, professional photos, but I'm taking the additional photos of what you don't see, on the MLS. So they know that this might be a potential property, and they can actually, a lot of offers are, being submitted without even being there to see the home. So it's more common now with the virtual tours and doing FaceTime at the property. So first, as far as time management, I just try to be absolutely available to my clients. So as soon as something hits the market, I can go out there and take a look at it before it's gone. And then if it comes to the weekend, then I try to see as many homes as possible that they're interested. And that way they have, a good, hopefully a few homes that they really like that we can try to go after. So.
Okay. So you're very flexible with your time in regards to
I try to be very flexible. I'm very lucky. We're not so much of a team, but I do own an office, and we all work together to help each other. So for some reason, I decide to take a vacation, sometimes that happens. I have people in place to be there and make sure that my clients are always taken care of and they're not missing out on anything.
Okay. Now, Lale, I mean, you probably work with a lot of agents, I'm sure about that. So how do you manage your time too?
Yeah, we definitely have our pipeline meetings, and we tackle our red buttons right away. It happens with regards to locks and urgency of contingencies, and people want to close early. So there's a lot of delegation, but a lot of teamwork at the same time. I've learned to surround myself with people that are better than me in other areas. I know where I'm really good at problem solving and the numbers, doing the puzzles and that. So I try to give other people opportunity in the industry. So I'm excited. We've gone from 1 to 10 employees in 1 year, and we're creating a lot of cash flow for people and a lot of knowledge and restructuring of finances. So just prioritizing 2-3 times a week on what's our urgent items and who can help, who can step in, and creating systems. The systems really help with time management.
Okay, so how many people really are involved in your transaction? I mean, I know that there are, for Pauline, there's transaction coordinator, but for mortgage, how many people are involved in your transaction to close?
Yeah, I think one of the most important players is your processor. Behind the scenes, you don't do a lot with that person, but the quality of their work and their attention to detail is really, really key because uploading documents, getting the right number of pages, helping the client, not send me screenshots that download a PDF with all pages. I mean, some of these things sound very simple for those of us that work with a computer as an extension of our arm, but we're helping all types of people with all different industries. So that paperwork process, like I said, again, just helping the client up front be super organized and get through those struggles up front of how to download a PDF maybe and how to get those items over to me. We don't want to be struggling on that when they should be doing their home inspection with Pauline and making sure that their investment into the property is minimal until they're 100% sure that's their future home. So that's how we manage our time. Again, just being prepared up front, educating the client before they go into the biggest asset and investment at the same time that most people ever experience. And but again, back to knowledge, because most of us come out of school with very little information on how to reach that American dream. So
Awesome. And Adriana, I mean, I know that you have to work with so many employees too in trying to make sure that everything is working accordingly for staging a home. So how does that work for you?
Yeah, you had been discussing about time management. It's really important for us to answer any inquiries right away. I know that they want to get the house listed as soon as possible. I know that we've been talking a lot about buyers, but from my end, it's about the seller. And so as soon as I get the inquiry from the agent and the agent says, hey, my client would like to stage their home, answering right away, and then talking to them about their vision and what they foresee about what parts of the home they want to stage. I typically like to stage the whole home, but if they have maybe a more troublesome room where it's a smaller space and you really need to be able to showcase what you can do in that space, those are the most important pieces to touch on. And then of course with my team and making sure that we are there on time, and I'm usually always on site for the delivery to make sure that I'm placing everything where we had envisioned and planned it on our 3D models.
I see. Now, let's cover follow-up process. Now, I know that a lot of people have trouble with following up, and once they get the client, they forget to really follow through some of the tasks that needs to be completed. So, Pauline, with your service process, how does that work with you when it comes to following up?
Well, as far as following up is, reminders and alarms in your phone. So as far as the beginning, automated systems that are placed for emails and so forth are good as well. To be able to give your clients, if you're selling a home or you just bought a home and you're thinking about selling, giving an automated valuation of that home is also good. So you're following up that way, so they always know kind of what just hit the market, what just sold. So those are a good process. So And then also, we have a great database system that does the make sure, hey, send a reminder, your contingency removals are up on this certain date. So, but the big thing is up front, making sure that everything is done up front from the buyer side and the listing side. Before you even put that house on the market, I get all the disclosures done. I get the termite report done. So there's no surprises later on. And that way, once we open up escrow, we're doing our part. We're getting all that paperwork to the buyer so they can review, and it sets up for success and an excellence in the escrow process, because they have the expectations that when it's time for them to remove their contingencies, we're not lacking on paperwork or anything like that.
I see. Now, Lale, if there are some agents that fail to follow up on their clients, how does that affect your business when you're trying to make sure that you are following through with your task too?
Yeah, it's a little different how we handle, the different situations. On a purchase, I'm normally the one that touches base with everybody every couple of days. Again, agents don't pay much attention until you, again, perform excellence, in a timely fashion. Then they know who you are. So I've learned that, communication is key in an escrow because, like Pauline mentioned before, these agents sometimes work, 6 months, maybe even years with a buyer to find the right property. And they have to hand that baby over to some loan officer and just hope that, they've crossed all their T's and dotted their I's and are ready to perform. So that's a little different in how we communicate. It's much more aggressive communication on a purchase. On a refi, it's a little bit longer process, because the purchases are so timely, but we do communicate through different team members at different stages in the process. And again, just, making sure everybody knows when it's their job to communicate in what phase of the transaction. So it's not just me, it's an entire team that's helping me to communicate, because it is unreasonable my pipeline is like pages and pages. So, I do need a team around me that can help make every client feel, special the way I would want to if I only had, a handful of them. So.
Okay, I see. Now, Adriana, I know that you're not only dealing with agents, you're also dealing with the homeowner. How does that work with you when it comes to coordinating all your people plus, the clients?
Yeah, absolutely. So like Pauline and Lale said, it's all about the initial. It's about being proactive. It's about making sure that you're on top of the ball. So for homeowners, it's about definitely being in contact with them every couple days, reaching out and saying, hey, I know that you reached out originally to stage your home. I wanted to know if you're still interested, and giving them ideas. So even before they ask for an inspiration board, just say, hey, this is a project that I did, and this is how your home could look as well. And this home that I did sold for 5% more or 10% more or 20% more, and showing them the ROI of investing in staging, so that they come back to you. And same thing with the agent. It's talking to the agent and making sure that they also know the value, which I know that all agents do know the value. It's definitely more about convincing the homeowners themselves. But definitely sharing. What'd you say?
I want to say, like, instead of looking at it like following up, I try to remind everybody that we're motivating people because people's lives are so busy that instead of, oh, I'm following up, it kind of comes off like negative, like I'm trying to get something from them. I know that we have the solution, for our clients. And so we're just that voice of reason, the motivation. Instead of watching the movie, maybe gather your paperwork. We all have priorities in life and we need motivators. So that's what I think good professionals do.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes. All right. So now let's move on to commitment. I know that you are all committed, but as far as excellence in real estate, we do need to make sure that, the commitment level is also not just for yourself, not just for the client, but also everybody around you. So Pauline, how does that work with you? Because I know you have 3 kids and I'm sure you're always committed with, taking care of your family but how does that work with your commitment to your client when they are in such trying to demand for certain things about the transaction?
So first, yes, I have 3 beautiful children, and they are my commitment. They are my reason why, and the reason why I do this. So they come first. But since I've always been in real estate since I have them, and I've been so grateful to be in this business because it is such a great opportunity to be full time business owner and pretty much almost like a full time mom as well, as much as I can be there. So one is training my children to be quiet when I'm on the phone.
I love the pets. The dogs always love to bark when you're on.
Yes, yes. So it's understand. I talk to my kids about my business, where it comes from, how I get my business, and I think they understand. So they're really great. So sometimes I do have to bring them along on showing appointments and when they were younger and so forth. And it's being upfront with your clients. Again, I have 3 kids. Sometimes, I apologize. You might hear them in the background, or I might be at the dance studio, watching my kids dance or dropping them off for sports and so forth. So, again, it's about being upfront. But I would say that but no matter what, I'm pretty much there 24/7. If I get a text at 11 o'clock at night and I'm still awake, I'm gonna, I have no problem responding to my clients' needs, because I know that they may be laying in bed worried about something, and a simple text back can, ease their mind. So I try to be 100% there for them. So
Amazing. What about you, Lolly?
Well, my kids are in the double digits, so I have 11 and 14-year-old, and this year's been interesting. My heart goes out to everybody that's juggled this Zoom school and trying to run a business. It proved really challenging. I had to pull in reinforcements, so I'm thankful to have done that, and it does teach the kids a lot about hard work and resilience. And I do talk to them about some of this stuff, but each kid's different, so they're kind of blazing their own path. But super understanding, being a single mom. Their father's Navy, so he's gone often, and they're resilient kids, and I just am so thankful for them, because again, they're my reason and my why, and as well excited to share just the growth of the company and the opportunity out there, so that they can really see all the different fields. Every field is important. Nothing's unessential in my mind.
Amazing. What about you, Adriana?
Yeah, I'm definitely committed to my clients, and our company is as well. We have a 14-minute response time guarantee on all inquiries. So if you submit a wish list, you're getting a response within 14 minutes.
Wow.
Specifically because our competitors are 15-minute guarantee. So so that's definitely where I'm committed. And then I, just like Pauline and Lolly, if I get a call or a text message at 8 p.m., 9 p.m., I've even gotten, I used to be in the events world. So events would end at 2 a.m. and I'd get phone calls from my clients at 2 a.m. saying, hey, the event's over, ready for a pickup. And it's like, okay, well, we'll be there. So it's definitely about making the client come first. And of course, there's work-life balance, and I don't have any kids, but I definitely have a puppy. So it's about making sure that you're there for your client, but also there for your family, and that they're the reason that you're so driven to do well for your clients. So, obviously more business means more money in everybody's pocket. And so that's what drives me in to do well, is so I can support my family as well as Pauline and Lolly.
That is amazing. I love all your answers. Now, when it comes to delivery, this is where I think your word of honor is being tested, because when we promise something, or we say that we're gonna commit to this, information or a timeline. I know sometimes you can't always be able to do that. So, how do you deal with that when it comes to certain situation that is just very difficult, Pauline?
So the question is, if when things get tough.
Yes, and getting tested for your word of honor and
Well, definitely. Number one is, what is it? Under promise and over deliver is a huge thing. So I definitely, I like to exceed expectations beyond belief. So, and it's just being like being motivated to your clients, right? Like, again, right now it's hard for buyers to get in, but we'll get in. And as far as honoring, it's you have to be truthful, and do the best job that you possibly can for your clients, so throughout the whole process.
Okay, and Lale, was there any situation where you ended up being in a difficult, decision because
I've been in mortgages for 20 years, so I think our job title should be changed from loan officer to professional problem solver. Yeah, I don't think it's appropriate job title. I mean, there is always a challenge, but what I've learned is, there's always a solution. If there's a will, there's a way. It does come down to problem solving and communication, because sometimes it takes more than just you to solve a challenge. But yeah, I face them all the time. My favorite analogy is the bear in the woods analogy. If you have a ranger and you're going through the woods and you see a bear, and that ranger freaks out and starts flailing his hands and runs away, well, guess what everybody following him is going to do? So I always say you got to stay calm. You got to not react. You got to act. You've got to find at least 3 solutions to every challenge. There's always, a way to get through something, I think, or else it wasn't meant to be. And then we have to sometimes deliver bad news. But luckily, normally we find a way to get through it.
Amazing.
I like to add to that too. As far as agents go, that's a big part of our job description. It's not only just finding the property or anything like, selling the house and finding the property, but we are the ones that are battling things that the buyer or seller may not even know. And we're trying to keep it together and keep everything calm so the transaction goes through. And I think that's one importance of being a real estate agent and having a real estate agent in your transaction, because seller and buyers sometimes, don't meet eye to eye. And it's important to have someone negotiating for you, having your back, and not only just making things work. So it doesn't have to be strong-armed or anything like that, but just making things work for both sides.
And sometimes, the husband and wife or the partners or the family don't always get along. So real estate agents really, they're putting people in their cars, and they're, one likes this type of backyard and one wants the 3-car garage, and you're trying to, massage. It's like a therapist, I think, is what you're
it takes a lot of skills and experience to be able to do all of that. Adriana, what about you?
Yeah, with the delivery, of course, everybody has little hiccups. And like Pauline mentioned, she took the words right out of my mouth: under promise, over deliver. So if we say we're going to be there by between 9 and noon, I'm giving them a time frame, and we try 99.9% of the time to arrive at that 9 a.m. window. So that's really important. Or sometimes there have been situations where we're loading the truck and that one piece that the client really loved was broken or damaged, and now we have to replace it. But it's important to understand that we can make substitutions and we can still make their vision work. But it's just making sure that you're prepared and giving them an above and beyond experience.
Wow, you guys are amazing. I love that you are here and sharing everything about excellence in real estate. So my final question for you is, what can you tell the audience about the overall excellence in real estate, and how can they get a hold of you if they need more information about it? Pauline, I'll start with you.
So the overall excellence in real estate is making sure that you have a good match, that you're matched up with a great agent that's going to work hard for you. Make sure that they have your goals in mind at all times, and making sure that you are always in communication, and that you just don't feel like you're left in the dust, and educating as well throughout the whole process. So I think that's an important excellence. And I think it's always good to have an agent also that's involved in the community, that cares about property rights and is, fighting for you. And so call me and you can get a hold of me anytime. I have my cell phone number. I'm always available. All right, 951-536-5550.
Yes, well, overall excellence, I think, is having resources and, power partners in the industry so that if they don't already have, a tax advisor or a realtor or a staging person, or whatever it might be, a trust advisor, we kind of help them before, during, and after the transaction. I always sign every email your loan consultant for life because I really do treat every transaction, the same way I would my own when I look at the numbers and help them make decisions. So that's number one. You can reach all of the resources that we offer at my website, lalehanks.com. Also, americachoicemortgage.com. We're on Facebook. You can visit us on Yelp. We're in San Diego, but we do work all throughout California, and we have power partners that work nationwide in pretty every aspect to help you reach your American dream. And we have a book coming out soon. So that's Road to the American Dream, What They Forgot to Teach You. And I'm give it about 3 or 6 months. So can't wait to get that out and give everybody the knowledge that they, need so much to reach all of their goals.
Amazing. Adriana.
Yeah, definitely excellence for me and for my clients is making sure that we stage the home beautifully so that they can sell faster and make a bigger profit than they initially expected. Like I said, staging your home can sometimes have an increase of 5, 10, and sometimes even up to 20% increase of what you initially listed the house. And right now, especially with all the bidding wars going on and with how strong the market is, it's very important to get the highest dollar. So you can call us at AFR Furniture Rental. My number is 323-301-5557. That's my cell. You can text it, call it. And then you can also email me, A as an apple, M Mary Reynolds at rentfurniture.com. And then finally, if for whatever reason you're not in California and I am not your person, because I do cover California right now, you can go to our website, AFR, at www.rentfurniture.com and look for your national partner. We actually are a nationwide company, so we can help you anywhere that you are.
Amazing. Thank you so much, ladies. So to all our listeners and viewers, I can tell you right now, you learn so much about excellence in real estate because these three amazing women are just incredible and they are full of experience and knowledge. So don't forget to contact them, reach out to them. They are there for you. And also do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have Finest Women in Real Estate that you can watch all the episodes, all the TV talk shows that we've done in the last 2-3 years and make sure that you learn from everyone. Again, I appreciate all your time, ladies. You are totally the finest women in real estate. I love you all. And everyone, this is the Finest Women in Real Estate, and we will see you next time. All right.